Yeah.
What's going on, huddlers? Welcome to Deep in the Huddle, Season 1.
Episode 3.
We're finally back on track.
Yeah.
Little hiatus, some moving things going on.
Yeah.
But here on out, smooth sailing.
We hope. We pray.
For sure. Knock on some wood there. Knock on some wood there.
Do that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Do that. What's going on,
What
man?
you
Everything good?
Yeah, man. I was about to ask you this weekend. You recover? You back at it? You full health again?
These bones, they're old, bro. Need to,
Right.
No more moving for me.
Calling the movers.
Yeah.
Get on the old speed dial.
Yeah. No question, man. Like, never again. Never going to subject my body to this ever again.
Yeah, I pretty sure I wouldn't either at this point. If I had to move, I'm like, yeah, let me go dial somebody up real quick.
Yeah, you're gonna dial me, hey, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a page from you, and what you just had to go through. I'm like, yeah, okay, fair enough. There's my sign.
Yeah, it was pretty heavy duty, man. Thought I was in the gym for like 5 days.
Oh, man, speaking of heavy duty, let's go ahead and get some of these results, man.
Word. First game up. Going first down. First down.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Texans Colts.
Overtime, thriller. And we had two head coaches that neither one of them wanted to win the game. Here, you take it. No, you take it. No, you take it. I mean, I get it. Frank, right after the game, wanted to say, oh, man, there was, 40 seconds left, whatever. We wasn't here for a tie. We were going for it. Okay, fair enough. So you turn the ball over on your side of the field because you didn't get the first down, and Texas getting range, and they line up for the field goal, and Frank Wright decides to call a timeout, and what does the kicker do? He misses. And then, of course, they line up after the timeout, and he makes it, and the Texans get their first win of the year.
Right. Yeah. It's tough to watch these two teams wallowing in mediocrity for year after year. I mean, in the Texas situation, they kind of like never been right. In the Colts situation, they haven't really been right since Manning left, Andrew Luck's first season.
The luck injury. Yeah, since the luck injury.
Yeah.
When he was healthy and upright, they were kind of okay. But yeah, since the injury. But I mean, the Texans win. I mean, despite the fact the offensive line, of course, we've talked about before, 7 sacks. Deshaun Watson sacked 7 times.
Yeah. And
I mean, the Colts front isn't really a dominating front, but they were able to get the job done still. Andrew Luck still trying to find his means, obviously. Good game. Texans got on the board. It's good for them. Maybe Bill O'Brien can feel a little safe now that he's got him a win.
There's no way he's safe. Not even close. I mean, they're both 1-3 after this game.
Yeah. I mean, for sure. I will say though, one of the things that I was catching on the Texan side though, Kiki Kuti, the East Texas guy, but on the scene, 11 catches for 109 yards. I mean, of course, DeAndre Hopkins does his thing, but yeah, Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding out of nowhere? Definitely giving Watson another guy to look at. Watson almost 400 yards passing with 375.
Yeah.
I mean, again, we can say what we want to about Andrew Luck and his progression. I mean, he threw the ball 62 times, man. I mean, I get it was an overtime, but 62 passes. That's just going to be tough sledding. I know their running back wasn't active for that game, but they just literally ran the ball. Are you ready for this total? I don't think you're ready for this total.
Sure.
17 carries, man.
Mm-hmm.
And Luck had 3 of those.
Right. Well, that you choose to look at it your way. I kind of look at it the opposite way. I mean, and this is why the coach is still on the hot seat for me. I mean, you guys are both 1-3. Okay. You were ahead of the Colts in the third quarter. You were up by 18 points. They come back. You go to overtime.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Andrew Luck has no rushing game to speak of. Like you said, 13 carries. 3 of them were Luck's. I mean, it's pretty sad that a team with less than 20 touches on the ground could come back in the third quarter by, catch up by 18 points, force you to OT. And I mean, you basically got lucky off of one play going one way or the other, you know what I mean, to try to score
Right.
and them have you beat you and you won. I mean, that's not how you're going to win games in this league. So,
For sure. But to top it off, Luck, 40 of the 62 passes, 464 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. So, man. So Texans 1-3, Colts 1-3. Texans get on the board. We had 3 scores in overtime, all field goals, of course.
Right.
And that pretty much wraps it up. Yeah. Let's go ahead and slide over there to the old frozen tundra. Bills at Packers. And I guess we can say the knee is okay.
It's okay for now. 22 points. Not really an A-Rod game for me, but
Nah, nothing really to write home about for him, but enough to get it done. Shout out to the defense, obviously, getting the shutout. Josh Allen going to be Josh Allen a little bit. Rookie status, a couple of picks and whatnot.
Yeah. Now, look, the way Buffalo handled this ball, awful. I mean, offense was sputtering all day, stagnant. I mean, LaShawn McCoy had 5 touches on the ground for 24 yards. Okay. Kelvin Benjamin had 1 catch out of his 6 targets. I mean, and to put that in perspective for you, not just this game, but so far for the season, McCoy only has 85 yards of rushing for this whole season, week 4.
Yeah,
Kelvin Benjamin has less than 100 yards receiving. I mean, this is what's going on in Buffalo right now. Some of the play calling is suspect. I mean, and we'll talk about this a little bit later, about teams trying to find their identities. And this is one of them, man. This is ugly. I mean, the defensive roster, I mean, they just got Shaq Lawson back too. So hopefully that kind of helps them. But this offense is ranked the NFL's second worst at this particular point. So, I mean, just bad. Yeah. I mean, and then the end result is what you got. 0 on the board.
Tough sledding for them. They circled the wagons last week. They left the wagons in Minnesota.
Horrible, man. Horrible.
I'm going to go ahead and give you a few moments here on this next game. I'm going to let you say what you got to say. Bucks at Bears.
I'm really going to be nice. I swear I am. I'm going to be nice. Okay? All right. So with this particular game, I'm not going to go too deep into it. I mean, the Bucks were 3-1 coming into this game, or
2-1.
2-1. Sorry. Had a close one there at the Steelers the week prior. Fitzpatrick's thrown for over 400 yards in every game so far. I mean, it's all well and dandy, but see, I knew once they came up against the defense that was serious about their business. It wasn't a joke. You can't go over there and get hyped on them because they're hyped on you. Defense is so hyped. I mean, they're gassed by the third quarter. And we've seen that so many games so far with them as they played. But there's things that are going on over there in Tampa Bay. 1, defense, coaching, defense getting outsmarted on plays. I mean, and I think one of the things that, like I wrote down in my notes, is plays are happening in slow motion. Man, you can't have the QB for the Bears. Mitch Trubisky's handing off to, is it Chase? I forgot what his name. The QB. Chase Daniel.
Oh, Chase Daniel. Yeah.
Handing off and, fakes a handoff and then deals it to the running back and boom, they're gone. For a sweep up the left side. Really? Y'all allowing that to happen? Y'all watch that happen. Then, they only pressured the QB 5 times. That was crap. I mean, they've got injuries, but heck, man, it's week 4. Everybody's got injuries at this point. People are losing players left and right. I mean, I don't know. They haven't had Vernon Hargreaves. I mean, he's only playing 1 full season so far. He played 9 games last season. I mean, he was out week 1 with shoulder injury. Don't know when he's coming back. Also, forget all that. I mean, they're giving up 450 yards a game on defense. Something's got to happen. Apparently now there's a billboard and a petition for them to get rid of the defense coordinator. All right, man, cool. I mean, if y'all want to do all that, that's cool. But as far as Tampa Bay goes, the coaching, I've been talking about the coaching since, this guy got hired, Dirk Cutter. He's not the coach for Jameis Winston. Don't think he's the coach for that team. Coordinator? Yeah. He's not head coach material just yet. Just not going to happen. Not ready for that. And then you get what you get. You get Chicago romping all over you for 40 points in the first half, and then you got no response. And then all the other side note stuff happens, like, oh, well, it's the second half. Now we're going to start Jameis Winston because there's no more Fitzmagic left. Really? Knock it off, man. Tampa Bay needs to restructure, and they need to start at the top. Let's go for the head coach, and let's start taking care of business, because this ball playing right here, what they're doing, it ain't going to last. They ain't going to make it.
For sure. And, I mean, the biggest thing they've had, including this week as well, is the running game has not been there. Fitzpatrick's nearly had to throw for 40 yards for them to win because the running game has been non-existent. That's not going to help anytime soon.
Sure.
I'm gonna highlight something here real quick before we move on to the next game. We've been talking about the Bears defense and to get a little gas, and can Trubisky them stay on the field enough and give them enough blows to get there. Hey, Tribs, over 400 yards, man. Right. Call him Mitchell. Don't call him Mitch. Okay. Yes. 354 yards passing, but he also had 53 yards rushing as well. Just if he's going to start playing this kind of ball going forward, with the way that division is currently sitting right now, and now here they are at 3-1.
Watch out, NFC North.
That's little scary there. Can get a little scary. We'll see. I mean, now granted, Tariq Cohen, Westbrook-esque or a Darren Sproles-esque. I'm not sure how many weeks he's going to have, 7 catches for 120 yards. Okay. Yep. But yeah, he definitely got matched up against some of them linebackers for the Bucks, and, Nagy, the disciple from Andy Reid disciple.
Yep.
Definitely schemed them up pretty good. And, the Bucks were thoroughly outcoached, no doubt in my mind. 48-10 was the final for the Bears. Good win for them to get to 3-1. And speaking of teams laying an egg, Dolphins at Patriots.
It's hurt my heart, man. Not going to lie. Hurt my heart.
Ugly. It was ugly for them. It was ugly. And, Patriots basically got back to what they do. We're going to run the ball a whole lot, and we're going to throw to the running backs a whole lot. And that's the recipe that they usually go to whenever they got to lick their wounds a little bit. And it just worked. And it's like the Dolphins acted like they were not ready for prime time. I mean, I know the game wasn't in prime time, but Dolphins lose the game 7-38, and they just looked shell-shocked from the get.
Yeah. I mean, Ryan Tannehill, 11 for 20 for 100 yards. I mean, for the whole entire game? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Brock Osweiler comes in and goes 4 for 5 for 35 and a touchdown. Granted, garbage time.
Frank Gore out there, 11 touches, 41 yards. I mean, they had 18 rushing attempts for the whole game. Like, this is what's going on over here. I mean, you didn't even score a touchdown. The one touchdown you scored, you didn't even score it until the fourth quarter.
Right.
That's not the team that we've seen the last, or the 3 weeks prior. Like, it's ridiculous. I mean, the only good thing that came out of this game for me is Minkah Fitzpatrick, roll tide, got his first INT, and he got it against the GOAT. So, I mean, that's the only good thing that came out of this game for me. Other than that, I mean, I don't know if the Dolphins need to burn this tape and get rid of it. I mean, I don't think that's the answer here, because you're going to see these guys again. Better have an answer.
Right. But I mean, just to reiterate, James White, 8 carries, 44 yards, also 8 catches, 68 yards, a touchdown going both ways. And then the rookie Sony,
Sony
25
Michel.
carries. 25 carries, 112 yards. Like I said, man, they just battened down the hatches. To be clear, Tom Brady didn't have a great game. I mean, 23 of 35 for 274, granted 3 touchdown passes, but 2 interceptions. But like I said, they just went back to basics. run the ball and throw it to our running backs. And we believe that we can beat you and your linebackers that way. So,
side note, though, reminder. I mean, when this draft was going down, everybody was hollering, "We're drafting a QB or we're drafting Saquon Barkley," and the Buffalo Bills were trying to make a push, to get our pick. I'm like, trade the pick, go get something else. Take them first, 2 of those first round picks that Buffalo has, and get offensive line and defensive line help, and go grab Sony Michel. That way we solve the running back issue too. But he's with the Pats now. Just wanted to remind everybody that's what I thought.
Indeed. But now we can get over there to the Lions at the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Cowboys with the late come from behind victory, 24-26.
Hey, I'm going to need you to quit talking and get it back together there for a second, because I can hear you smiling through the microphone.
Hey, I'm just saying. It was a good game. Magically, who knew that Zeke was really good and you should get him a bunch of touches? Mm-hmm. Who knew? I mean, who knew? And
what did we say last week?
And they Scott Linehan decided, you know what? Let's just get Zeke the ball and see what happens. And, 25 carries, 152 yards. 4 catches, 88 yards. And you get a win, Amazing. On top of that, on a serious note, Dak was very much more precise with the ball, much more accurate than we've seen. Stafford, did Stafford things. Just put the ball in tight spaces. They were going at Chidobe Awuzie, and he had great coverage the whole game. But, just the catches and where the ball placement was, man, was really good. They just came up a little short. 26-24, Jekyll and Hyde, week 1, Dallas. Oh, this is trash. Week 2, okay, we're getting some things going. And week 3, we're trash again. Week 4, we'll talk about some of that here in a little bit as well. But tough for Detroit, 1-3 now, kind of behind the 8 ball. You thought maybe they had figured things out after beating the Patriots last week, and how they were able to shut down Tom Brady. But unfortunately, came up a little short here at the end. Cowboys get a very much needed win to get to 500 before they go down to Houston.
I'd like to add, though, just personnel-wise, I know we talked about on the preview show with Zeke and, making sure he gets the ball, definitely out in open space, getting him some touches, receiving. But Tavon Austin, y'all need to figure out a way to get him involved too, like one rush for the whole game.
Yeah.
Catches.
Now he could have caught a touchdown pass. It was tight coverage, but it was a perfect place, and he dropped it. And he kind of hurt he banged his elbow a little bit. Yeah. I agree. They need to get him a little bit more involved. It's the same thing. Like, they have a couple of plays that are drawn up for him, and then that's about it. And that's kind of been the entire time. He's going to get his number called outside of the punt returns. He's going to get about 2 to 5 things his way, and whether those pop or not, we'll see. I definitely believe there's some things that I'm asking a lot of Scott Linehan to be creative. I understand that, but right. Scott Linehan needs to be a little bit more creative and do something. As creative as he finally got and put Zeke in the slot as a wide receiver, maybe he can figure something out with that speed of Tavon and do something with that. But we'll see, if it can sustain and they figured out, hey, just get Zeke the ball and good things will happen, or we'll yo-yo and we'll lay an egg, Sunday night.
What do you think about the defense? I was happy that DeMarcus got 3 sacks and all that, but definitely, some of the corners or whatever got picked on, fine and good. But Taco, I need to see Taco more involved. I need to see Randy Gregory more involved. That type of thing. I want to see that. When I see Taco come up off the ground, hand snap, starts assembling tacos in front of his teammates, that's fun. And you need to figure out a way to make it more fun for that kid. That's just me.
It's a rotation there. He's playing better than he has before, from his rookie year and whatnot. And like I said, Chidobe had great coverage. One, he lost in the lights, and then the only really blown coverage that we had yesterday was late for the touchdown, the second touchdown to Golden State, where Anthony Brown he was looking in the backfield and just got caught in the mud. Here's what I do know: the number one rated by PFF cornerback in the league, Byron Jones.
Yep.
Matthew Stafford wanted zero parts of him yesterday and didn't throw it over there much at all.
Turned him into Deion Sanders right quick. Huh?
Oh man, I was very surprised. The other thing too, as far as it goes with the Cowboys, Sean Lee goes out. Usually the defense falls apart.
Right.
Tip of the cap to Leighton Vander Esch.
Right.
Played pretty good ball yesterday.
Yes, and I did hear his name being called a lot more in that game than previously.
Yeah, so he showed and proved a lot of some people was a little worried. Hey, how's he going to be? We don't know for sure, but I mean, he definitely played pretty well for his very first start, and I mean, he's gotten a little time here and there for sure. But with it being the first start, definitely showed up and showed flashes, encouraging news. Without
coming out of college too, so I know that was some worries for people too. So.
Right, and then you of course had the one big year of production from him in college, so you're kind of like, well, is he a 1 year wonder or is it something that's going to translate? So
Does he miss
so far,
the defense?
Right, yeah, exactly. So far, so good. Cowboys are able to go ahead and get that win. And let's get down to ATL, the shootout. Bengals 37, Falcons 36. Hey, it's the red rifle. I'm telling you, it ain't no BB guns. It's the rifle.
Hey, let me tell you right now, I really did not think this game would be this close simply because of the defensive woes of the Falcons as of late. I mean, because they've had it bad from game one.
Injuries everywhere. Injuries everywhere. But Andy Dalton, though, with that touchdown pass with 7 seconds to go for the go-ahead score and win. And now let's talk about Matt Ryan a little bit. The last 2 weeks, actually posted this in the group. I mean, he just threw for 419 against the Bengals with 3 touchdowns, no picks. Week before that, against the Saints, almost 40 points again. Almost 400 yards, the whole 9. The most yardage and highest winning percentage for a quarterback in back-to-back games, and lost both of them. He's doing enough, but like you said, injuries. I mean, they're down to like their 3rd and 4th string safeties and things of that nature. They need to find a body, if you will, and bring them in.
Well, a plus for me was, and I hadn't mentioned this to you last week or the week prior, but I was wondering when we're going to see a Takaris McKinley sighting, and he had 3 sacks for the game. So that's good for them. Pressure-wise, I just need guys that we're used to seeing. I need to see Vic Beasley, causing havoc. You know what I mean? I need to see, other guys that are on that defensive front doing what they're supposed to do to make this game, what it's worth. I mean, the havoc that they were causing last year heading into the playoffs, that's what I need to see out of the Falcons for them to kind of remain in the hunt. Because if not, man, I mean, there's a lot of bodies out on that defense, man, secondary-wise.
And I mean, they're behind the 8 ball, 1-3 now in that division.
Yes. Yeah.
Man, that's and hey, and not only are they 1-3, they have 2 division losses already.
Right. And my prediction still is, NFC South or NFC West. It's kind of looking like NFC West right now is going to represent the National Conference. I mean, as far as Super Bowl goes, that's where I'm at with it still.
Yeah. So we'll see if they can get back on track next week, but Bengals get a win there. Now on to Jacksonville. Jets 12, Jacksonville 31.
Yeah, I didn't catch this game. I just looked up and saw the score, and I said, "Oh, it probably could have been worse."
Well, yeah, maybe so. I mean, the biggest thing to take away once again now out indefinitely is Leonard Fournette pulled the hamstring in the second quarter again, and now they're just putting him on ice. Blake Bortles almost 400 yards passing. I mean, he's thrown for over 300 yards a couple times now, so he's, dare I say, carrying the offense.
Yeah, I mean, can we talk about this for just a second real quick? Leonard Fournette?
Sure.
The deal with this cat, man, coming out, I mean, I'm an Alabama fan. We faced off against LSU, which is where Leonard Fournette came out of. I mean, we shut him down pretty good, the couple times that we faced him. And it's all fine and well, but still, you knew that guy coming out of college, he was rumbling all over opposing teams, whether it was in conference or out. Rushing for 200 yards in a game and things of that nature. And I really thought that was going to translate to the NFL. First season, somewhat. You could see the flashes.
Yeah, I mean, he's over 1,000 yards. He didn't play the full 16 games.
Yeah, but this season, man, I mean, and these were things that were affecting him in college. The nicked up here and there, the ankle, the hamstrings. And this stuff, man. I mean, like I was telling you the other day, I would not be shocked that Kenyon Drake starts getting way more touches. I mean, he's going to have to, but I mean, not Kenyon Drake. TJ Yeldon starts getting more touches in this backfield, and they don't go draft another running back next year. I would not be in shock if they did that. Another guy, not saying that this is going to happen, but another guy, Carlos Williams, got drafted a few years ago out of Florida State. Just applied for reinstatement in the league. Wouldn't be surprised if they're taking a look at trying to pick him up. He was a 5th-round pick, had some issues in college, drafted by the Bills in the 5th round. It was like a 1-2 punch deal with him and LaShawn McCoy. Came back into camp 2016. He was overweight, got suspended for substance abuse for 4 games. Then got to Pittsburgh or whatever on their practice squad, got suspended for 10 games or whatever, and then he was out of the league. So, I mean, he's back in shape now. He's only 25 or whatever the case may be. Maybe somebody they might want to come look at in case, things don't hold up with Leonard Fournette this year.
Gotcha. Well, again, Jags rolling, bouncing back after their loss last week, 3-1. So let's get over to this trap.
Which one is that? Oh, man.
The trap.
Oof, yeah.
Eagles go to Tennessee.
Yeah.
Eagles are up 17-3 in the third quarter.
Did we call this as a trap game?
I believe so.
Yeah.
And Eagles lose the game in overtime, 26-23. Wow. That defense, man, it's not, it's just not right. Secondary's got some issues. I don't know. I mean, as I was watching this game, I'm like 17-3. I'm like, okay, Wentz is kind of feeling it. Now here's Alshon Jeffrey back. He's getting his catches. Zach Ertz getting his catches. I'm like, okay, we got a Jordan Matthews sighting even. Jordan Matthews sighting back with the team again. And he had a deep play for 56 yards and a touchdown. And I'm like, man, okay. I'm like, I guess they're about to roll. I said, maybe that knee's back there. He's more confident in it. And it's like they went to sleep at the wheel.
Yeah, line needs to protect him better too.
I mean, for sure.
Yeah,
but Marcus Mariota with a bad arm, shoulder, wrist. I don't know. Like he's got a special glove on. Mm-hmm. There's like something going on. Whatever. He leads not only does he throw for 344. I mean, he has the most carries and yardage for the offense as well. Why are we running Mariota with all that's going on with his arm right now? But 10 carries and 46 yards. Corey Davis's quote unquote maybe coming out party. The former first round pick from Western Michigan, old Josh Allen's wide receiver, huh? Mm-hmm. And 9 catches, 161, and the game winning touchdown, his first touchdown catch in the league, in overtime for the win. And don't look now. Tennessee's 3-1, man.
Right.
and they beat Jacksonville last week.
Right.
And they beat Philly this week.
Right. Who are probably 2 of the scariest teams you could probably game plan for up until this week.
Right. For sure. So Eagles go back home and fly Eagles fly back home and see if they can lick the wounds and right the ship. Still super early. Maybe some of the Super Bowl hangover. I mean, look, if any team ever drank the champagne and did the media circuits and everything after a championship run,
oh yeah, they went overboard.
They did. Mm-hmm. Now we're going to see if they can reel it in or not. But I'm going to tell you something that Peterson said in his post game, where I'm just like, I don't like it. I didn't like it. It was, well, they have to remember that they're champions, and we can play like champions. Was Jordan Matthews on that team last year?
Yeah, but
no, he wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't. I mean,
I get it.
I mean, what's the turnover rate for teams every year? That's what 25 to 30% is a turnover rate. So there's guys in that building that's not going to hear if you're preaching that to them. They don't know. Mike Wallace, right? They picked up Mike Wallace, but
Right.
was he a champion last year?
No.
Like, yeah, right. I mean, like that's Dallas Gobert, your rookie tight end that's playing pretty well for you. He wasn't a champion. He was in college last year. So I didn't like that.
I think it's just a mindset. I think you might be reading too much into that. I mean, let's just say they're on the top end of turnover, right? Let's say they're 30%. 70% of that squad over there. I mean, look, let's remember the last 4 weeks, the QB wasn't the guy that started Sunday.
Right.
That's the first thing. The second thing is 70% of that roster that's in there, okay, they were champions. And it's just maybe reminding that core or the support, the base staff that's there, hey, man, you guys need to remember, that what you're capable of, and you need to be passing that on to the new guys that are here. I think that's what it is.
Maybe so. Anything. Again, preseason, I said I was down on the Eagles. The Carson Wentz move to me was a panic move.
Very much so.
And the post-game press conference after taking this L of their champions, remember they're champions. There's time to get it right. And like I said in the pregame show, the sooner that Wentz is upright and feeling his old self, I think the ship can be rectified and fine. Just some things over there that still concern me.
Yeah.
But
go ahead.
Neither here nor there. Neither here nor there, because this wild behind game in Oakland, Browns at Oakland, another overtime thriller. Oakland wins 45-42.
Yeah. Didn't catch much of that game, but it was something.
It was.
The last.
And we saw some rookie-isms from one Baker.
Yeah.
Couple interceptions. Couple
Not characteristic
of
of him either, man.
Right.
Not characteristic.
Couple of fumbles. And the last interception really was a standpoint of we're trying to win the game. It's tied. Well, there's nothing open. I'm going to force it. Mm-hmm. The typical rookie.
Right.
The biggest thing, though, Nick Chubb, 3 carries, 105 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
He was averaging 35 yards per carry. How did we not give him the ball anymore? I don't know. I saw that. I was like, wow, my goodness. He was breaking runs. Every time he touched it, he was gone.
Right.
The biggest thing that's going to come out of this game for most people, Raiders, got away with a fumble that would have killed it because Myles Garrett scooped it and would have scored. They blew it dead. The ref didn't see the ball come out.
Yeah.
And so that's, what can you do? It's one of the things. They blew it dead. It's non-reviewable. You have to take it on the chin. For me, the Browns should be 4-0.
You only want them to be 4-0 because you damn well picked that in the
man. Well, I'm gonna tell you where I got it wrong.
Okay.
I believed a little too much in Hugh Jackson, maybe. I thought with the coordinators that he had, that would be the boost and what needs to happen and everything. But some of the situational stuff that they've done has cost them. They're 1-2-1 right now, but could very easily be 4-0. But hey, it's an 8-8 league, and good. Congratulations to Oakland. Maybe they won't burn the place down now since they're finally on the board as well. So 1-3 over there too. But yeah, man. Yeah, just little rookie mistakes there. But
yeah, I'm kind of at the point now where Hugh Jackson, not really sure, man. This is one of those things where I hope. It's sad that it's the Browns, and we know what the Browns do with QBs from history. But I just hope this kid doesn't get ruined because of the situation he got drafted into. I'm not saying Hugh Jackson's a lame duck coach, but he's pretty much as close to a lame duck coach as you can call it right about now. And for Baker Mayfield, I just hope that whoever they get in there next, if they have to make that change and they can't turn this around, whoever they get in there next is going to be able to help this kid vault to that next level and be what we think he can be. Because right now, I mean, certainly there's some games, they're losing by the skin of their teeth, but like this man, like this heartbreak for this franchise has got to stop. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, I mean, the encouraging thing is they've played well enough.
Yeah, to be
4-0. The frustrating thing is they're not 4-0 because of coaching. So it's like the ultimate catch-22.
Right,
at least it's not. At least the talent is there now, and they can get the rest kind of figured out. All right. So now on to Arizona, where we had Seattle get the win at the buzzer, 20-17 over the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Rosen got his start over there. Did okay. Didn't do great. Didn't do terrible. I mean,
did a little bit better than okay, but I mean,
yeah, did okay. 15 of 27, 180 yards and a touchdown. I mean, Russell Wilson was a little bit better percentage, 19 of 26, but only 172 yards. So definitely Cardinals played with a little bit more oomph. Big win for Seattle to get to 2-2, back to 500, of course. Cardinals are headed to that top 3 pick land. We kind of knew that. They're 0-4 now.
Yeah, I don't know. This sounds like, first off, the Cardinals could have won this game. I mean, 2 missed field goals. I mean, they had 3 times they had to line up for field goal attempts, and they only made 1. Horrible drops. Something you want to say? Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, to be fair, I think Janikowski missed 2 on the other side as well.
Right. But at what point, I mean, when I start talking about drops, 2 of them are potential TDs. One's like a scamper into the end zone. I mean, they drop. Larry Fitzgerald dropped 1. I mean, like, not saying he's going to score a touchdown off that, but Larry Fitzgerald dropped 1 that was like, what? And, I mean, forget his, okay? Forget the other one. You got 2 potential TD drops plus 2 field goal drops. I mean, we're talking about 20 points on the board that you could have had. They could have beat this team going away. And it wasn't the kid's fault. That's just what he stepped into for today's game plan. People not executing, tackles not being made, lots of missed tackles in that game. And I mean, considering what happened, I mean, I'm going to call it like this. The kid won the game. The play calling and the drops and the missed field goals lost it for him.
You give him the old moral victory there, Massiah? Is that what we're giving him?
I mean,
the moral victory?
I'm not giving a participation trophy to the kid. I'm just saying, like, all those inches that people talk about.
Oh, yeah. Something for him to grow on.
Right, definitely.
A solid block to start with. Yeah. I know one thing for me, Larry Fitzgerald and everything he's been to this league and to that franchise and to that city. Tough to watch what the last couple of years have been for him over there.
Yeah, sad, man.
Yeah, very tough. The GOAT for Arizona for sure, definitely going to be a future Hall of Famer. Seattle, I mean, they're back to 2-2. Obviously, Earl Thomas, the leg break, the middle finger to his own sideline only further strengthens.
You want to touch that?
I'm just, I mean,
you want to touch that, or you want to save that
just
for something else?
I'm just saying, man. I mean, when these guys hold out sometimes and stuff, and for their situations, there it is. If you need the reason why, there it is, right there.
Yep.
And I'll leave it at that for now. So we'll get over here and we'll head up to New York.
Yeah.
Saints.
I like how you're being nice right there. I'll leave it there for now.
I'm just going to leave it there
on that one.
I know. I'm just going to leave it there, man. I'm just, a guy, what he's done. I mean, again, the thing that's always funny to me that you see, fans always side with the billionaires and not the millionaires, and that guy right there did this thing. I'm going to be here for my teammates. I'm going to show up. I'm going to do this thing because it's right to be there for my team and the fans. That organization wasn't going to pay him, didn't take care of him at the end, and he re-breaks his leg. And, hey, they had offers, multiple offers that could have sent him on about his way.
And ruined his potential money on the market for next season. I mean,
right.
From different outlets that I've heard, he's lost probably about $30 million that he could earn next year.
Because now that he rebroke the leg, it'll have to be incentive based,
and it's a fracture. Really, It's not even a break. I mean,
right?
Yeah, but still, I mean, he could probably make it back before the end of the season. But
for what?
He's going to sit down. He's got to. I mean, exactly. He's got to make sure he's right for whoever's training camp next year.
Yeah, tough, man. Tough, tragic. I mean, the whole ball of wax over there. I get it. You probably don't want him to shoot the bird, but I get it. Hey, I understand.
Isn't that what the franchise did to him when they wouldn't renegotiate or trade him?
Oh, agreed. Like I said, I get it. But man, that's tough for a guy who's one of the better, if not the best, free safety in the game. Tough. Mm-hmm. Tough, man. And
and one of the most coveted, and let's be clear, Pro Football Focus is we both like to look at Pro Football Focus a lot. That guy's the number 1 rated defensive player in the league so far for the season. And then that happens to him. And that's over Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
Remember
I'll take Khalil though, but yeah. I mean, I'm with him with the rankings though. Mm-hmm. Now, I know you want to kind of go back and double back on that, which is fine because we do have to get to the Saints and Giants next.
No. I get it. It was just one of those, we both football fans, man. And when you see stuff like that happen, man, it hurts, bro. Like you said, it hurts, man. So,
yeah, it's rough.
Yeah.
But Saints get the win, 33-18. We saw, Alvin Kamara be AK-47 with the shots he was giving y'all. 134 rushing, another 47 receiving. Mm-hmm. A little frustration on the Giants sideline, maybe a little bit.
I don't know. I mean,
just in general,
a lot of players get frustrated. It's Odell Beckham in New York, so his frustration is on frustration level 10,000, apparently, according to the media. But whatever. I mean, I guess I'd be kind of frustrated too if our starting running back got one less catch than me and we lose the game. Last week it was more and, and all that other stuff. Look, the Giants that I saw in preseason, some of the formations coming out, lining up with, trips, bunches, before Evan Engram went down, double tight end stuff that they were trying to run. Those Giants were successful when they were running those type of plays. What I saw on Sunday, a lot of stuff like overthrows, shorthanded throws, pressure in the pocket. Obviously, the offensive line still ain't fixed its problem yet. They haven't learned to work as a unit yet. And normally it's the right-hand side, but now it's like from center over to the left. Those type of things, Saquon not getting ready, not getting off, there's so many things wrong offensively. Third down, at one point we were doing better on third down conversions than the Saints were. And then we got to the second half and then, that just went out the window. Odell Beckham, no touchdowns. Sterling Shepard got a touchdown. I'm at a loss as to what's going on. Some people say it's time to get rid of Eli. Well, I've been hearing it's time to get rid of Eli for 4 or 5 years now. He ain't going nowhere until the Giants decide he's going somewhere. That's the first thing. The second thing is he's not your entire problem. Offensive line woes definitely hurt. The defense this particular time, I mean, they got 33 points put on them, but Landon Collins played lights out. Jack Rabbit had a very, very good game. We're just not generating any pass rush. Drew Brees' jersey was still clean in the fourth quarter. You can't have that. Can't. You're not going to succeed in conference or out of conference against these type of teams unless you can generate defensive pressure, create turnovers. Oh, and when you have the ball, convert. Field goal, touchdown, something. I'm not telling anybody anything that's new here. It's just that's the way you got to do it. If you're trying to win games. And we're not doing things to try to win games. hurts my heart because it's my team. It's been my team since I was a little kid and, learn how to go to the bathroom by myself. But, this is where we are. Week 4. Giants.
Well, at least you're 1-3. At least you got to win. At least you're on the board. Could be worse, right?
Yeah.
Could be worse. Yeah. So there's that. Yeah. Saquon, by the way, what do you have? 10 carries, 44 yards. Not sure why they didn't feed him a little bit more there. Over 4 yards per carry.
They fed him 6 passes for 56 yards. That's what they did.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough. All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump over to the West Coast. San Francisco Chargers. We kind of like, oh, well, hey, sorry, San Francisco. We just moved on, Yeah, we sure did.
Isn't that what you call the kid?
Yeah, beat hard.
Beat hard.
Oh, CJ beat hard. Yeah. Let me put some respect on his name.
Yeah.
CJ Beathard.
Yeah, Beathard.
Played pretty good. He had a couple turnovers. One of them was late, and we was getting blasted trying to drive down and win. Don't really put that on him too much, but, man, threw for 298. Didn't get a whole lot of help from the running game, but, defense played spirited, got him a pick 6, close, 29-27. Like I said, man, I'm surprised, man, how close this was. I'm not going to lie. I was very surprised. Melvin Gordon doing Melvin Gordon things, of course, 104 yards rushing, another 55 receiving, 22 touches total. But, man, San Francisco played pretty hard, man. I am very surprised how close that game was.
Hey, man, look, this whole deal with San Francisco, I mean, the offense is going to show itself to be what it is. I mean, at some point during this season, it's not great, at all with the particular personnel that they have at this particular moment. Okay. This defense needs to wake up. Reuben Foster's back. He's the leader of that defense. All well and good. But there's other guys there. Eric Armstead, DeForest Buckner. DeForest Buckner had 1 tackle and 1 assist on a tackle. So you had 1.5 tackles. For the whole game, DeForest Buckner?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, that.
Solomon Thomas, too. Yeah, Solomon Thomas, too. Only had 2 tackles.
Yeah. I mean, you can't do that in this league. And you big money? Reuben Foster, man. Y'all got to get it together over there. You need to get back to whatever it is that y'all was doing. I mean, I know Reuben had whatever issues that he had. They resolved them and all that. But something in that locker room, specifically on the defensive side, y'all need to hash it out. Go for a weekend or, a weekly retreat or something like that and get it together because this ain't going to win you games. Nope.
Right.
Nope.
For sure. But, hey, like I said, that was surprised how close it was. I don't know if that was, an Adam Boy pat on the back for the Niners or,
considering Chargers the situation that they were in last week, I guess.
Yeah. Chargers, Chargers 2-2. Yeah. Where are you at still? So, but They get the win. Right. Now let's get to that Sunday night game. The old Sunday night game where Baltimore
Steelers.
Yeah.
Steelers.
Is it time to? Is there really problems again now, or Steelers are? Here's they get beat, and then right after that, Le'Veon's coming back week 7 or 8, right after the bye. So it's bad news, but wait, here's some good news. And I was watching a little thing today. It's what's Pittsburgh's next 2 games? Can they survive till Le'Veon comes back? And they got to play the Bengals. Oh no, I'm sorry. They play Atlanta this week, followed by the Bengals. With those offenses, I'm you might be 1-4-1. They better find a way to win one of them before Le'Veon comes back. But with that being said, Joe Flacco doing Flacco. Flacco showed up.
Hey, Joe Flacco making me look like a fool from the first podcast. That's all I got to say about Joe Flacco. I got a couple other things to say, but yeah, go ahead.
No, you can thank Lamar Jackson for Joe Flacco playing as well as he's playing is what that is. Because if there wasn't a Lamar Jackson there, Joey Flacco from Delaware.
Joey Flacco
will still be doing Joey Flacco things, you know. But and he's still been kind of up and down. But I mean, he showed up. I mean, give credit where it's due. 363. You like that percentage to be a little bit higher, 20 or 42. But they jumped out quick.
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh scratched back. Mm-hmm. And then Baltimore said, that's enough of that, and went ahead and closed it on out. I don't know, man. People can say, well, I mean, that defense, obviously for Baltimore, running the rock is going to be tough sledding, but 11 carries. I mean, in Ben Roethlisberger, let me take Ben Roethlisberger carry out of it for the one carry for -1 yards, right?
Right.
10 carries for 20 yards. I don't know if is Le'Veon Bell making that better? I mean, sure. I mean, he's a better running back, I guess. But there's just issues, man. I don't know. I mean, Bell coming back, I'm sure they're going to take him back with open arms now.
Of course.
It seems like they are now anyways. To me, here's what it seems like. Seems like there's might have been some conversations behind the scenes between Bell and his team and the front office of the Steelers.
Yeah.
Is what it seems like to me. So, but they better not go 1-4 and 1-4-1 though, or it's over.
Yeah. Seems like to me, the coach and the locker room were doing one thing, and the front office and management side were doing another. And everything got itself crossed up in the media. And I think the only thing there was something that I saw earlier today, with all that back and forth going on, there was one person that wasn't talking, and that was Le'Veon Bell. So, at least out loud anyway. He wasn't on, he wasn't on social media, telling you, what was going on in the day-to-days, with the organization or what he was doing, talking to certain players. Look, man, hey, the thing about Le'Veon Bell that I'll say, and then we can go to the next thing or talk about the next thing. The thing with Le'Veon Bell is AB is who he is. Antonio Brown is who he is. Okay. We need Ben Roethlisberger to get him the ball for sure. Certainly we need him to do that with Le'Veon Bell. All right. But Le'Veon Bell, the thing that Le'Veon Bell does is he calms it down for the Pittsburgh offense. If we're behind, you know what? We're not going to sit here and sling the ball 30 yards and hope somebody comes down with it, while AB's triple covered. We're not going to throw it to the rookie and, who's probably double covered. We're not going to run slants. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to feed Le'Veon this rock and let him gash the defense. And then when they think he's going to run, we're going to let him catch one out the flat, catch one on a sweep, whatever the case may be, whatever play you dial up, and Le'Veon Bell's got to catch it. Now the defense got to look around. And then by the time y'all figure out what's going on with Le'Veon, well, Antonio Brown's down the field for 60 yards. Touchdown. Juju, 40 yards. Touchdown. That's what Le'Veon Bell does for this team. He will settle it down for you, make defenses play honest, and now you can go along and win games. And now you're in the playoffs again. When you don't have Le'Veon Bell doing that or on your roster or playing or active, well, now you got this. Now it's the rookie, the James Conner. He's good. No, he's not good. We're not getting the ball to Antonio. We're getting the ball to Antonio too much. It should Ben hang it up. Ben can still play for another 3 more years. Man, y'all should have did what you were supposed to do. Pay that man his money. Period.
Yeah. I mean, if they had, they're probably not in the situation they're in now.
Certainly that. And you know what? You probably ticked that dude off. He's over here playing nice with you right now while all these nice little conversations are sneaking out in the media about how they may reconcile. He's playing nice with you right now. Next year, he's going to be playing for somebody else.
For sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, but stranger things have happened. You never know. They might come sit down and come up with something.
He don't go back.
Surprised.
I pray he don't go back.
Surprised. I thought it was a done deal. He'd get traded. But things changed. Like I said, to me, I just think there's been some conversations happened between now Sunday after that game to now. So we'll see what happens there and develops. And then that gets us to the Monday night game, the thriller in Mile High.
Yeah.
Chiefs win 27-23 against the Broncos.
Oof.
The legend grows, if you will.
Oof.
Even more.
My dog.
Grows.
My dog.
Yeah, I mean, headed into the fourth quarter, down by 10. And
yeah, the legend of Patrick Mahomes.
He's out here. I'm gonna tell you the best thing out of everything that happened in that game. And this is the words out of his mouth was, "Well, I knew Vaughn was on me, and I couldn't get rid of it with my right hand, so I put it in my left hand, and shoveled it out there to him." For him to and here's the greatest thing about that. To him, that was just not, just what was going through his head and happening.
Yeah.
For a quarterback who's in his second year, not a rookie, but he didn't play, but the last game last year, right?
Yeah. To have the wherewithal.
To have the understanding as he's running full speed to his left.
Yes.
With a future Hall of Famer, Von Miller, on his heels.
And another defender.
Right. That he knows I got a guy open, but I cannot get this pass with this hand with the wherewithal to switch it to that hand and put it in a position where he's either going to catch it or it's going to be out of bounds and incomplete. That speaks volumes.
Yep.
About that kid and about
that kid was something.
What he can do. But again, Texas Tech, like you brought up before, hey, Texas Tech. Yeah, we've seen a lot of guys come through Texas Tech.
We've seen a lot. One's in Cleveland right now.
So, well, Oklahoma, which, I mean, hey, Oklahoma, I'm out the man, my draft status on that, but he was the exception for me as well. So, and Baker, but
couldn't get on the field though with Davis Webb, who just got cut by the Giants. So just saying.
Yeah, man, life comes at you quick.
Right.
Life comes at you quick. But man, yeah, I mean, another thing too, Chiefs kind of remembered Kareem Hunt, 121 yards rushing. Yeah. That always helps you out.
Right. Look, man, I don't have too much to say about this whole thing. Okay. Other than, I'll talk about the game first. Mahomes is very confident. You can tell when he walks out on that field, gathers everybody up for the huddle. That was the thing I noticed, especially in the first quarter. That team was glued to his eyes and his voice during the huddle. Okay? Still, I'm just talking about the game here. All right?
Kermit the Frog.
What is it with you guys and the Kermit the Frog? Leave that cat alone.
I'm just saying, it's funny.
He could be Oscar the Grouch, my man. What he did last night, special. Anyhow,
it was.
He
dodged a couple bullets, too.
Yeah,
he dodged a couple bullets in that game because he could have had 2 interceptions pretty easily.
Sure did.
Back to the game.
But he didn't. Anyhow.
For sure.
KC defense is Swiss cheese. Okay? The Broncos were gashing KC with runs and play action all damn night. And they probably should have won that game by 2 scores. Maybe even 3 with the way they were playing them. Okay? Denver defense, they rested, and they still created pressure. Von Miller was in there. You know what I mean? Other players, they were in there, man. Bradley Chubb, in there. Case Keenum looking crisp. And the thing that, and I kind of mentioned this to you last night, these 400-yard games, 300-some-odd-yard games that Mahomes was having, the games prior, those were big plays he was hitting from the side. And I don't care whether he was sitting in the pocket, rolled to the left or the right, or rolled out left and then had to make his way back to the right and throws a dart. All those big plays, Denver was cutting that out. They were minimizing that. Nah, you got a big play? Cool. Wrapping you up. Lay down. Next play. And that was the difference. And that's how they kind of kept that game close. Other than that, the only thing I got to say about Patrick Mahomes is I've been screaming it for 2 years. I wanted my team to draft him. They didn't. Cool. We can move on. He plays for the Chiefs now. But that kid is going to be causing havoc for opposing defenses for a long time to come, as long as he's healthy.
And I'll double down a couple things there. Pretty much, 23-13 in the fourth quarter, they had held him down. Mm-hmm. And, then he goes off, I think it's 10 to 15 for 150 some yards and two scoring drives. 2 scoring drives there in the fourth quarter. That was big. Mm-hmm. Also, the record for yardage, not the record, but the most yards thrown outside the pocket in the last decade. And you start talking about some of the guys that's played in the last decade, whether it's the Vicks of the world, the Cams of the world, Russells, Aaron Rodgers, what he does outside the pocket and stuff, with 192 yards from throwing outside the pocket. Dodged some bullets, which, hey, good for him. That happens. And what we've been talking about, defense can be trash, but even if you got a great defense, it's just one stop. Yep. They get the touchdown, cut it 23-20. And what does the Kansas City defense do? 3 and out. Get the ball right back to them. And
very uncharacteristic of them considering how they played the rest of the game, right?
Right, exactly. And they had a chance at the end. Case missed. Demaryius Thomas, he had him wide open. They could have hit that and won it, but they didn't.
For the most part, man, he looked crisp. 4-0. For the most part, he looked crisp, though. I mean,
he was okay, but a lot of their passes were east and west, not north and south, and that always concerns me.
Right. The other thing that I wanted to mention, too, was Mahomes kind of looked stumped at some point there. I don't know if it was the second or the third quarter. I think it was the second quarter. It kind of looked like kind of stumped there. And Reed puts the headset down, goes over, sits down next to him, and talks to him like
the quarterback whisperer.
Yeah, like forget what's going on with this game. I don't care what's going on with anybody else right now. You, my man, me and you together, we can get this thing done. Tell me what you're seeing out there on that field, and let's see how we can look to make them adjustments. And that was a difference. Like the kid, instantly kind of opened up and just like you could tell, he, the cloud had been lifted from his head when Reed came over there and sat down and talked to him. Because I think for the most part, he was stumped, which, he should be with a defense like that. And some of those players on that side of the ball, giving him different looks, considering yes, the second year, but he didn't really have that much experience. So, yeah. I like that.
Good win for them, 4-0, and see, they play Jacksonville next week, right?
Yeah.
That'll be another good test there for him.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. Real good.
But now, since we kind of talked about a guy in his second year, we got all the games out there. Let's talk about, now all the rookies except for Lamar. Lamar's got some play time, but he hasn't got to start. But the main guys that went high, they've started their first games.
Right.
Maybe let's get into some of what they've been doing so far.
Yeah. Well, we can stick with Mahomes. The other guys I know.
Sir, he's not a rookie. No,
well, he's not a rookie.
No, he's not a rookie. Get him out of here.
You don't want to start
we've given the legend of Mahomes enough love.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, we'll go with we got Baker.
Let's go with
we got Darnold.
Let's start with Baker. Let's start with Darnold since he started from the beginning. Let's go with Darnold.
Okay, second down.
Came out the gate, got the win.
Defense helps a lot.
Right. He's been slow, steady. Just this week against the Jags, 17 of 34, 164 yards, a touchdown against that defense. And, better than I anticipated him to be. I get it. The Jets are 1-3. Better than I thought that he would be.
Yeah.
Coming from USC and whatnot.
Right.
Weapons, man. And that's why we kind of talked about that some too. Boy, if the Jets were able to get Bell.
If they were give Le'Veon, that would be.
Yeah, if they could get man. Bell, man, night and day.
Definitely on my mind last week when they were talking about it. So
yeah, and I think going forward, I think him and Saquon will always be tied at the hip, just because it's both the New York franchises that play in the same building. As you talked about earlier about Eli, why he's here, not here, should not, if that kid turns it around and he does become the franchise for the Jets, which I think, he's got a good chance. If I'm giving him a report card, it's probably for what he's got. I'm giving him a B minus is where I'm at. I'm at a B minus with him so far. But they got to give him some help there.
Yeah. I would say I'd give him a B minus, considering the fact that he's a rook and considering the surrounding coaching staff. Definitely need to get him some help is what I would say. Defense definitely needs the game plan better so you can help him, get better field position. Like how the defense played the first game, maybe you don't get that out of them every game, but if we can get half of that out of you, all those other games, I mean, that'd be awesome. But either way, like he needs weapons, man. I mean, he don't really have anybody to throw to. I mean, the running back situation, there's some situations where he's getting almost as many carries as the running backs. Like we can't have that. Not with your first year QB. And, hasn't thrown many touchdowns either. I mean, he's got 4 TDs on the season. It's going to be hard for a young QB to see his way and progress. Given his particular situation, he's got a defensive-minded coach. There's some shuffling back and forth on who's doing play calling at certain times of the game, things of that nature, man. And honestly, I just really think that would help them solve a riddle if they could somehow manage to acquire Le'Veon Bell. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at with him.
For sure. Let's go with a guy who's got the next most amount of starts in Josh Allen.
Oof.
I mean, a little heckling, John. Now, at least in my opinion, once they had the Peterman there, they had AJ McCarron there. Like this was the kid to me that needed to sit the most out of all of them.
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Didn't play good this week against the Packers, at all, and thought they could get some things done there. Goes into Minnesota and gets a win, though. It's a pretty big check mark for him to get them their first win of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Chargers, 2 for 245. I'm just like, I don't know. It's hard to grade him at this point because of just the moving things, and like he wasn't supposed to be the guy yet, and they set it up where they had to put him in because you got rid of AJ McCarron. Peterman goes in there week 1. Oh, wow.
Blows it
Stinks it up. Yeah, right. Against Baltimore. Oh, my God. I mean, it was tragic. So it's like, well, I guess we'll just go with the kid now. And then, McCoy's hurt and in and out of the lineup some and whatever the case may be. Man, the Vikings performance makes me want to give him a higher grade, but he's got to be better. Like, the Packers defense is not stellar, okay? And he has to be able to play better than he did there. If I'm going to grade him currently, C- for Josh Allen.
Yeah, I mean, C-, sure. I mean, the kid's been sacked 18 times, so the offensive line ain't been helping him. That's the first thing that jumps out at me. Okay, had a hell of a performance last week. Certainly, the Minnesota defense isn't like stellar, like you said, but they ain't terrible by any stretch. I mean, they're better than the Bucs defense.
Well, that's what we think. We anticipated that Minnesota defense being something, but we're starting to see some other things about them.
Okay, fine. I mean,
but I mean, yeah, better. I mean, obviously, better. If we're stacking them up, we're thinking they're better than most.
Still,
for sure.
I mean, look, we might as well go ahead and slap the Minnesota offense, on the hand too. And they only mustered 6 points in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Man, come on, bro. What we doing here? You just signed a dude for I don't know how many $1 million and guaranteed damn near all of it, if not all of it, in 6 points.
Right.
All right. Cool.
I mean, like I said, Bill's definitely got the job done there for sure with Josh Allen at the helm.
Yeah.
But against the Packers, laying the goose egg, and then the way he played against the Chargers as well, I'm just like, he has to be a little. Yeah, I mean, fair enough, but I mean, I got to grade him on what he's doing so far on the field, and I'm with you.
Sure,
I'm with you. Yeah. Organizationally, it's like, but hey, man, you get the call, you got a ball.
Right. No doubt. No doubt.
Let's see. We'll go to Mayfield since he's played a tick more than old Rosen so far.
I'll let you talk about it. Well, they have the same amount of games. They both played.
Well, yeah, but he got the Rosen.
Josh got the nod like at the end of the game.
No. Did he get a little? I mean, he got a little time.
Yeah,
but it was like it wasn't. But it wasn't
really
in question though.
Yeah, it was really
right trash time. Like as compared to, he got inserted after the injury to Tyrod and put a chance and to bring him back and whatnot.
Right.
Obviously, Baker brought some juice to them, week one, and then no matter what happened this past game, I'm gonna say this again. I posted this. I'm gonna say it again. The Browns scored 42 points.
Yeah.
Okay. They are no longer incompetent on offense.
Nope.
Or impotent, if you will.
Right.
So he brings that to the table. Yeah. Turnovers. I can't let him off the hook. You can't fumble the ball twice and throw 2 interceptions. You can't turn the ball over 4 times. That'll get you beat. And lo and behold, they lost in overtime this week.
Right. And be clear, too, I mean, just a small note. Like last week, they faced off against Darnold and the Jets. I mean, they mustered up 20 points. I mean, but there's like a great comparison for you to look at the team with weapons, team without weapons. Like imagine Sam Darnold with what he had over there on Cleveland's side.
Right. Might be a little bit different, or for him, for sure. Result. Might be a little bit different story. So, I'll give Baker a B.
Okay.
I'll give him a B. Came in, brought the team back from behind and get the win against Sam Darnold, and then put up 42 points, but turned the ball over a little too much. So I'm in the B range there on him.
And he's also the QB out of all of these guys. He's the QB that where the offense, I can tell the offense buys into what he's saying when they're in the huddle or otherwise. He's there celebrating with him. And we know this guy coming out of Oklahoma, like how he was in college, like, whether he's grabbing his junk or he's celebrating on the sideline or he's cheering his other teammates on or he's
planting
dancing.
The flag.
He's planting the flag. He's got all the latest hot, hip hop steps, whether it's on the sideline or, in the quad at the park on campus. Like, bro, this guy, like, he does it all. He does it all. But Mayfield's the one where everybody buys into what he's saying, man. So
most definitely. Solid B for Mike.
I give him a B. Yeah,
give him a solid B. That's where I'm at too.
Yeah, concerned about the coaching, but give him a B
for sure. Concerned about the coaching. Yeah. Knicks missed that, but Josh Rosen.
Oh, you want to go Rosen? Yeah.
That's Rosen. Let's hit it. I mean, played well enough to beat Seattle in his first game.
Yeah,
didn't hurt the team.
Yeah.
Granted, smaller sample size than everybody else.
Yeah.
We had some conversations before the season. I said, if any of the people that was ready to start right away, I thought it was this kid.
I wasn't a fan. Not at all.
I just thought.
Forget all the social media stuff. I just wasn't a fan. Yep.
Yeah, I just thought if week one starter, I thought he was the one out of everybody, was the best one ready to go week one. I'm going to give him an A. I mean, it's a small sample size. I can only go off of what I see so far. I'm going to give the kid an A, man.
And normally I wouldn't, but I agree with you today. Yeah, I'd give the kid an A. I mean, considering what he had, I mean, look, there's a few things I'm going to touch here.
Shoot.
First off, in the pocket. I mean, this kid don't throw him from a dirty pocket for a majority of this game. I mean, like, there's people at his feet, his ankles, nipping around like, he got catnip on his toes. His defensive guys all over him. Okay. The poise. He's sitting there in the pocket, man, getting attacked. This kid ain't even, I don't care. Oh, I'll step left. I'll step right. Whatever the case may be. And he's throwing. And, you got guys dropping passes. 2 of them potential touchdowns, which we talked about earlier, and, in the results section. Like you can't do that. And a couple of things, that I picked up, scouring, the interwebs, for certain things. I mean, he only completed 55.6% of his passes. Now, if you adjust for the drops and the throwaways, his completion percentage is 72. Okay. It's probably closer to 70, without the drops. Okay. He lost 114 yards. The estimation, he's lost about 114 yards on those drops, and he probably would have been 20 for 27 for 261 yards with 2 TDs. Now, that's a lot better performance than what you heard for that game. But, hey, look, this is, what do we always say? This is the ultimate team sport. Everybody's got to go out, do their job, execute. Facts. And that's my word for the season. I know we talked about this earlier before we jumped on, but that's my word for the season. Execute. Execution. This is what you need to do. If you can't go out there and do your job, hell, man, let somebody else come in there and do it. But when you don't execute, the people around you get affected. Not just you, everybody. Guys dropping passes, man, that's ridiculous in the league when you're open. Okay, when you're open. We're not saying people got to be perfect because they're getting paid millions of dollars. We're saying, hey, if the ball's coming to you, put out your hands and catch it. Help, help the rook. You got
these super sticky gloves now.
Yeah, man.
They stick to you. It's all good.
Help the rook, man. This poor kid. I mean, and look, his running back ain't helping him any either. I mean, part of it's play calling, but the other part of it is I don't know if David Johnson's just not himself after the injuries last season or what.
Yeah.
But whatever's going on.
Yeah, maybe some O-line issues there as well.
Yeah, there are O-line issues, definitely. And then, there's all the talks, too, about them, starting to dismantle this defense. So I don't know what's going to go on. I didn't want to touch on this, but I'll say this. I hope for this kid's sake that they hurry up and get it right. And I'm going to say I hope that they get it right just because of, there's other things going on. There's social justice issues going on in this country. There's, judge appointments going on in this country. And, the Arizona Cardinals owner and I think the GM, they got their own set of issues. The GM suspended for the team, for, DUI. And I highlight that because normally it's the players that we're talking about in these particular situations. But let's be clear, the organization up top for this particular franchise ain't clean. So, we talk about his particular situation, the GM, and then we talk about the owner and him getting involved in politics and, this, that, and the other. Like, concentrate on putting the people around the QB that you just drafted and let's make sure you got a winning product to put on the field. Larry Fitzgerald's about to go away. That's going to be your last taste of glory left running around on the field. You know what I mean? Like you better do something to fix that quick. You might become the new Browns. How about that?
There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Like I said, small sample size.
Yeah, definitely. But I'll be watching him.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely going to be checking him out. I mean, A for me.
Yeah, I'll be watching him.
And then, since we're on a grading scale here, we'll pull the old college here. And Lamar Jackson's going to get a incomplete. Is what I want to give him. Yeah. Not enough yet. Not enough yet there from him.
Yeah.
Although I will say this though now.
Mm-hmm.
If I was a Baltimore Ravens fan, I might give him an A++ because the way he's made Joe Flacco play. You're doing your job, son. Thank you.
Let me tell you something. I meant to say this earlier when we were talking about the Ravens-Steelers game. I made sure I made a note of this. Flacco's face and demeanor when Lamar Jackson's packages are dialed up in his headset, that dude is not happy. Not even the slightest. I can see his face turning color. He ain't moving his lips. He ain't repeating the call. Nothing. Like, there's just a moment where it's him inside his head listening to the call. And, I know that involves Lamar Jackson. I know that means that I'm not going to get to throw the ball or potentially run it. Man, they're doing everything in their power to get this kid on the field. And it just shows. So, also nice redirection play with Jackson on the field and the two-back set near the end of the third quarter. Yeah. I like that. And then we're starting to see a little bit of that too. Like I know we saw that in the New Orleans Giants game with Taysom Hill. They were running a lot of dual QB set type of things.
And when's the last time you seen a quarterback returning kickoffs?
Yeah. Yeah, Taysom Hill is, I was definitely concerned about why Teddy Bridgewater wasn't running those packages, but
Yeah, if you see Hill, you just kind of know. Okay, he's kind of cut for this.
Yeah,
Teddy B, get right, and we'll see about you in the future. So, all right, man. Well, that's kind of the grades on these rookie quarterbacks in this draft class. I think that a couple of them I was really concerned about. Just overall as a whole, and don't get me wrong, I'm still worried about Allen. I'm just gonna put that out there. I'm still worried about Allen, and I will say Donald has been better than I thought he would be. I'm not saying he's a clear cut, I mean, great. We're talking about your 4 games into the season. The potential, though, to be one of the better draft classes in recent history. Yes. That's something we can circle and come back to, but definitely enjoying seeing these young guys get in and start cutting their teeth in the league and see what they can do for their respective franchises.
Yeah, no doubt.
What do we got for third down?
Yeah. Third down, we're going to go, who are we? Teams that are still searching for an identity. Third down. I want to touch on Arizona and Buffalo a little bit. I know you had some teams that you had. What'd you come down to? Dallas?
Yeah, I'm going to do, I got the Cowboys and I got the Titans.
Got it.
Titans.
Right. So I'll go Arizona first, okay? And then
go for it.
And then we'll talk Cowboys.
All right.
So Arizona, this is going to be real quick. Arizona, they're in the throes of something. There's a storm starting to stir in that particular organization. They went out and they got Sam Bradford. His performance, crappy.
$20 million.
$20 million. Yeah. Go ahead and say that again.
$20 million.
Right. For $20 million, what the Arizona Cardinals have received in return from Sam Bradford is 50 of 80 completed passes. 50 of 80. Okay. And also he gave you a whopping 2 touchdowns. All right. Bad decision making. And believe it or not, the offensive line seemed to work while he was there. But, under no pressure, he's making early throws, making bad throws. And I don't understand it because he's a more seasoned QB than that. But, it's gotten him to the point now where, okay, it's time for the rookie. The coach is basically calling your performance out in the media. And you've also now been demoted to 3rd in the depth chart. Mind you, let's remember now, Sam Bradford's only 30 years old. Okay? As a QB. And he's making a lot of money, too. I don't know what's going on between the Eagles and the Vikings and here.
And the Rams of the pick. Yeah, he's made a ton of money. He has robbed
I'm just talking about the last 3 that we know of. Where he's basically, packed the bag and, unpacked it and then packed the bag and unpacked it. And now he's in Arizona. So,
right.
Some of the research I've been doing too, the Cardinals have benched him to save some money. So I think part of his contract is his roster bonuses, where he gets paid, a certain amount of money per game that he starts. They would save over $4 million in unpaid per game roster bonuses. They're probably going to look to try to move him to somebody that maybe needs a backup QB in a hurry. Maybe San Francisco. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't think San Francisco. Maybe. It had to be something stupid low. San Francisco's just not going to reinvest too much more in quarterback position.
Sure.
With Jimmy G and CJ Beathard.
Yeah.
But
if they're trying to get rid of him,
Yeah. Try to save the money as you can. But here, like you said earlier, the GM with the DUI, maybe he was drinking whenever he gave him $20 million.
Ooh,
maybe that was the issue.
Ooh,
and better yet, how can you go to, first and foremost, if I'm the GM of a team, how do I look at my employer, the owner? Hey, let's give him $20 million. This will work for us. And you can look at his history in the league and see what he's been in the league.
Too busy campaigning for his buddy to be a judge. That's what that is.
Dear God.
Yeah. Too busy to pay attention.
just anyone that wants to sign Sam Bradford for $20 million and be the starter for their team probably shouldn't be in the league anymore. And I'm being nice about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll let you go. Go right ahead, sir.
Oh, no. I mean, however we want to do it, let's do it, man. But,
yeah.
I mean, Josh Rosen got his start. I mean, that was a plus, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to reiterate what I said earlier. Arizona could have won this game. Okay, the bad play calling, the bad coaching, missed field goals, missed tackles. Really this L. I mean, I'll change it. This L is on the coaches. Okay, and honestly, if the field goal kicker doesn't miss that last kick, now it's hey, it was a great play call. They're doing good. They got the rook starting. Everything's wonderful. Let's look to see how they perform next week. Let's go Arizona. Yeah. And then, this is what it is. Now you've got a coach being called into question. Ross is being called into question. I don't know what's going on with David Johnson. I mean, he's fumbling balls again. I mean, there's things that got to happen inside this organization, like I said. And it's always when these particular things are going on, when things are falling apart in front of our eyes, it's always from the top down. Pittsburgh Steelers situation, top down. We need to figure that out. We're going to talk about Buffalo here in a little bit. From the top down in Arizona situation, from the top down, you need to figure out what's going on so that your product is palatable for the NFL community.
And on the way out the door for this GM, you decided not to pay the Honey Badger.
Right.
Took that money and gave it to Sam Bradford, who's on your bench now after 3 games.
Right.
Good job.
And then you're going to do something dumb, and they're going to try to recoup that money by sitting old Bradford down on the bench
and try to move him, right?
And you still lost Honey Badger.
So who are they? Are they a rudderless ship? Are they with the top 3, top 5 pick? Is that where they're at?
I wouldn't call them a rudderless ship. I would call them a team that needs to get their priorities in order and execute because that's what you need to do.
Get the ducks in a line.
Let's get it all back to where it is. Gotcha. I mean, I don't know. It almost seemed like this team lost its structure once Bruce Arians left.
Indeed. Well, good luck out there in Arizona. Let's see. Let's go ahead and who are we as it pertains to this season? And let's get into the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, I'll let you go there. I don't have anything to say on this. I'll let you go.
Well, fair enough. I mean, who are we? Are we the Scott Linehan games 1 and 3, or are we the Scott Linehan called offenses in games 2 and 4? And in particular, it seems that's just what it kind of boils down to. The defense has kind of been even keeled all the way throughout and has done well. We could say Dak has had issues, but whenever you're not playing to his strengths, like any quarterback there, you're going to run into things. And then somehow finally we figured out, hey, get Zeke the ball a bunch and good things happen. So who are they? Are they a playoff team? Are they an 8-8 team? Well, they're 2-2 right now. Consistency is the key. If Scott Linehan can consistently be the play caller that he has been in games 2 and 4, I think the Cowboys can go forward and get to 10-6. And realistically, 9-7 might win the NFC East division right now as it sits. But they can get to 10-6. How far are they going to go from there? I don't know. I do believe if they don't make it to the NFC Championship game this year, there's a good chance there's going to be some guys gone.
Yeah. Well,
so
who do you wish for them to be gone? Let me ask that. Who do you wish?
Who what? I'm the same person I wanted to gone in the offseason, Scott Linehan.
You think that's it? You think that that's the only thing you need gone? You're still in on the head coach?
I think I can do enough with the head coach. Well, I like where we're at with the defense. with Chris Richard being on there and basically going to be taking over for Rob Marinelli.
Well, let me point this out for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the head coach is in there selling Linehan's usefulness to the organization every week when he's talking to Steven and Jerry and Willie. Mm-hmm. He's the one in there. He's the one in there doing the sales presentation as to why you shouldn't get rid of Linehan every week. So, I mean, if that guy is willing to go to bat for him every week, why you guys should probably be 3-1 or something or other. I don't know if you should be undefeated, but you know, if that guy's in there doing that for you and he can't see how it's affecting your win-loss, maybe it's time for a new guy.
No, I got you. And I'll rewind on that.
Sure.
Because something really weird this offseason happened in Dallas.
Okay.
Somehow, it almost seems like Linehan had more power than anybody. Mm-hmm. From all the people that are interconnected in the DFW area mm-hmm. that are working behind the scenes and stuff will tell you, mm-hmm. Jason Garrett and Jerry Jones were the last two people they had to talk into getting rid of Dez. This was something that came from Linehan.
Right.
I don't know how that works. I don't know how the OC has become so emboldened and empowered. Mm. And again, I'm basing it off of this last year. I'm like, get Linehan out of here. I knew the head coach wasn't going anywhere. I knew they wasn't going to get rid of him. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm like, get Linehan out of there. Right. Now, here we are where we're at. I think heads roll, period. If we get to if we go through the season, we miss the playoffs and the Cowboys miss the playoffs, I think heads are going to roll, period. Okay. I would hate to lose Chris Richard in that mix, though. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know if this turns into a situation where Richard makes that jump to head coach, a la Garrett whenever Wade left.
When Wade, yeah, that's what I was.
I don't know. I don't know if that's right. I don't know if that will happen per se. Mm-hmm. What I do know is there's more than enough talent, even though we can talk about the wide receiver and tight end position for the Cowboys not being exactly where it needs to be, but there's more than enough talent in this division for them to get to the playoffs.
Right.
And then kind of go from there. And look, we can talk about that around the league, period, especially the NFC. A lot of teams are getting off to a slow start in this first quarter of the season and different things like that. So who are the Cowboys? Maybe they're just Jason Garrett. Maybe they're just 8-8. Maybe they're just 2-2, and that's just where they're headed, no matter what.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I obviously, as a Giants fan, I could care less. As a football fan, your organization deserves better off the history. You know what I'm saying? Off the strength of the history. This isn't Cowboys football. I mean, you've got too much talent.
It's flashes.
Yeah, but you got too much time. Hey, man, let me be short-sighted here.
Okay.
Now, everybody was screaming about, or people screamed after it was over, when Tony Romo left. And, I heard you scream it for years before he left, before they composed that offensive line, how they were wasting his years. Mm-hmm. You wasted his production. You wasted the opportunities. What y'all doing with Zeke over there? What do you think he's feeling like come that fourth or fifth year? What you think he's feeling like?
I found something about Sears. What is the production wasted, the opportunities?
That's weird. The phone's going off. That's weird.
But yeah. No, I mean, we wasted. We wasted D. Ware. Thank God he kind of got over to Denver and got to do something. Witten's career, Des Bryant's career, for the most part. He still got some time in Romo's career, and it's watch, rinse, and repeat. I mean, things have gotten better. I mean, if you want to talk about Tyron Smith's career now and Fredericks and Zach's, it kind of goes down the line. There's more pieces here for sure now for them, and it should definitely be better.
Yeah, I don't know.
But like I said, Linehan was the issue. They have a plan, and then they'll go into the game, and if that plan doesn't work, there's nothing else to do. Like, that's it. Oh, they got us. Sorry, guys. we'll just keep doing it, and okay, it's just not going to work, so we'll come back next week. The adjustment period is very rough. Is very rough when it comes to that, or they adjust too late. If they go into the game plan with the idea of getting Zeke the ball consistently and they stick to it, things are usually pretty good for them. But they have to do it, and even within the game against Detroit, you're first to go from the 4. You ran it first down, and then you threw it second and third down. So, yeah, I don't know. They're 2-2. Are they? They're trending up, I think, after this game because it's the best they've looked. And now we're kind of that 4 games removed, and everyone's kind of played 4 games now for them. Like Zeke didn't play any games, in the preseason. So Houston's a big test. They need to get over. They need to go ahead and win the Battle of Texas and get to 3-2 and kind of ramp up from there. But who are they? I think at the end of the day, it's an 8-8 league. I think that's might be right where they're at, man.
And that Houston game is a potential trap game. Not gonna lie.
For sure.
Yeah, not gonna lie. So, yeah, good stuff from the Dallas Cowboys there. We're gonna move back to the AFC. I'm gonna talk about Buffalo here a little bit. I kind of addressed this, I think, in the first podcast. And some things here today. Buffalo from the top down. As an organization, bad management, bad roster moves, bad drafting, bad free agent moves, and bad coach hiring. Like you can go down the list, and they don't let anything really stick. Like it's something you'll try something for 2 years and that didn't work. Let's move on. They're going to make a move. You think it's, that's going to be a big splash, like the Kelvin Benjamin deal. And what do we got? Nothing. You got issues QB wise. We talked about all the different roster moves that,
right.
They had Tyrod Taylor, traded him.
You were a playoff team last year.
Right.
And you blew it up for no reason.
Right. You had Tyrod Taylor. You traded him. You picked up A.J. McCarron, who really should have been with the Browns. Okay, whatever. You still got Peterman, and he was a scrub last year. You get rid of A.J. McCarron so that you have Peterman. You draft Josh Allen. LaShawn McCoy, he's got issues going on in his personal life that probably need to be resolved. It's not keeping him off the field, but all these things, all these side shows and all that other stuff that people talk about, when they talk about the Odells or the Dez's of the world, these are starting to creep into your organization now.
And they literally had a cornerback retire at halftime and leave.
Right. Well, there was that. Thank you for reminding me.
When have you ever seen that?
Right. And just watching them, like stuff like how they handle the roster. Like the failed Corey Coleman trade, the defensive roster, like they had 5 defensive ends on the roster. Okay. Yeah, I get rotation, but, and I get that Shaq Lawson was out, but you got him back now. Oh, okay. We're going to release one of those guys so that we can sign another cornerback who, by the way, they had to do that today because Micah Hyde's out for we don't know how long. So they just signed another cornerback, Dante Johnson. Release the defensive end to make room on the roster. The defensive play calling, so suspect. Okay. I've seen the rumors now. There's talks of trading Benjamin and McCoy. Okay. You trading Benjamin and McCoy and then what? What do you got? You got Charles Clay and your rookie QB?
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, the offense is ranked the NFL's second worst. Okay. I'll remind everyone again, Kelvin Benjamin only has 7 catches for the entire season through 4 games. Okay. He doesn't have 100 yards yet.
When he complaining about a particular quarterback not getting him the ball from a previous team or something?
I'm not even going to talk about that.
I'm not even
going to talk about that. That particular QB doesn't deserve that disrespect.
Yeah. Okay.
Say what you want about him. He doesn't deserve that disrespect. Anyhow, LaShawn McCoy ain't even got 100 yards for the season. 85 yards. Like, this is what we're doing with stars in this league. Okay? Kelvin Benjamin might be a question mark. Okay, cool. But, this is this is what's going on in Buffalo, and they need to solve it. I see the owner out there pretending, or I think it's the wife of the owner out there pretending to talk football more than they're actually talking about doing things for their football organization. And that's a shame. Like, I literally watched an interview with the wife of the owner for this team. And, she's a co-owner too, talking about this team. And she had nothing to say. I literally almost swallowed my words about all the times that I said about Jerry that he's out here promoting his team. I literally had to swallow my words and go, Jerry, you aren't the worst owner. You aren't. Right. This is ridiculous. It's tragic. And I feel bad for guys like Jim Kelly, who are a memory and a cornerstone of this organization and still fighting for it, whether you see him on social media or you see him in interviews, and he's still fighting for this organization to do better, offering his commentary and his help to try to help this organization get back on track. And you watch this stuff happening every week and you're just like, man, what an insult to that dude. What an insult, Yeah.
Hey, man. I mean, maybe Bill's still trying to get out of Buffalo. You think maybe that's some of the issue? And I'm gonna spin it at you like this. They were supposed to do some of the home games in Toronto and different things like that, and they were talking about that. They didn't get the new stadium deal or anything.
Right.
You just had a team that went to the playoffs and literally just kind of shot yourself in the foot and blew it up.
Right.
Are you trying to not be good so you're able to actually get out of Buffalo?
Maybe that, but it's a different time now. When the Rams were trying to get out of St. Louis, social media wasn't what it was, what it is right now. People weren't really you only heard it on the news. Now, social media, you see people legit talking about, no, don't move my Raiders. No, don't. And there's a groundswell. It's not a few people talking about it. There's thousands upon hundreds of thousands of people talking about that. The Buffalo Bills, the way that they're playing, I guarantee you there's at least 100,000 people that are out there saying, don't bring them to my neighborhood. Don't bring them to our city. We don't want that. I bet you.
Maybe.
Trash.
Yeah, maybe so. But
trash.
So, another team probably headed for a top 5 pick.
Oh, let me see. Yeah.
Top 5. Yeah. I mean, they got Tennessee on deck next, but and speaking of which, since they do have Tennessee on deck next, who is this Tennessee Titans team? Now, curiously, the Bills made the playoffs last year, boom, and they blew it up. Well, now the Titans made the playoffs last year and won a playoff game, and they fired their head coach. They fired their head coach, one Mike Mularkey, after winning his playoff game and everything else.
Yep. I think he's better suited as a defensive coordinator, though.
Offensive coordinator.
Offensive coordinator, sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
I knew it when I said it. After I said coordinator, I said, no, he's offensive. Sorry.
And then, the guy that they decided to bring in is Mike Vrabel.
Right.
Former linebacker for the Patriots and whatnot.
And the Chiefs.
And the Chiefs, right. And it was making his rounds, with some coaching in Houston and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Kind of controversial. A lot of people thought it was a bad hire.
Yeah.
It's oh, man, don't know about that. And now, early in the season, and you beat Jacksonville, gutsy win, a Vrabel, right, a linebacker kind of win. You had to start the backup quarterback who got knocked out, so the original starter had to come in, and you beat Jacksonville 9-6.
The glory days Vrabel type of win,
right.
Hair on my chinny chin,
right. Then you're down 17-3 to the defending Super Bowl champions. You could just fold, and you scratch all the way back and win the game in overtime. And the running game hasn't just exactly taken off for them yet. Now, they got injuries, some offensive linemen are down. They will get some of that back. Mm-hmm. The tight end's gone. Yep. But now you're seeing the rookie or the second-year wide receiver, Corey Davis, step up. and starting to come to the forefront. So much to the point that you got Rashad Matthews wanting to get cut now.
Yes.
And I'm like, because people forget and just think Tennessee, well, Tennessee, new coach, whatever. Mariota always hurt, up, down, whatever. I think Jacksonville might have a problem for the division.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. I mean, the Colts are going to be the Colts. Houston right now, they're still they're Houston with Bill O'Brien. No, I didn't really see it coming from them and everything else, but I'm like, I think I'm buying though. I think it's a legitimate thing. I think it's not no flash in the pan for them. I look at the history with even the different head coach last year and them making the playoffs, having the miraculous comeback win against Kansas City, losing next week. You bring in somebody else. That defense looks better than it's ever looked here in a while for them. Yeah. The way they've been playing here and there in spots, and if they can get Derrick Henry really rolling, and some of those pieces come back on the offensive line for them, and he gets really rolling with what Mariota's seemingly able to do right now, I think Tennessee gets pretty scary over there. I'm just saying. I wasn't. I think so. I think they're playoff bound. I mean, sure, early, I'm gonna shoot it out there, but the eye test tells me this team's really good. It's not just a lucky 3-1. If I was talking about the Dolphins, no disrespect to Dolphins fans out there, I might not be buying the Dolphins. I think I'm buying Tennessee.
Man, there's a few things. First, they're gonna have to cut down on digging themselves into a hole because two things happen. One, the potential to expose Mariota to injury with how they get out of those holes. And I'll talk about that in a second. Two, you don't get to see the power of Derrick Henry running the ball and making defenses pay for trying to tackle him. He's been doing this since college. And I'm not saying that just because I'm a Bama fan. He's been doing this since college. And that kid, let him run the ball. You give Derrick Henry 20 touches in a game, 25 touches in a game, and let him do what he's supposed to do. Instead of you guys going 3rd and 12 and try to throw it, or 2nd and 12 and try to throw it.
Right.
You can't do that.
He needs that one cut and gone.
Right. And surprisingly, you look how big he is. You go, he ain't that fast. You seen him. It's not a joke. Surprise you. Yeah, it's not a joke. Yeah, but the other thing is other than playing out of the hole and giving Derrick Henry touches, someone in that organization needs to sit Marcus Mariota down. And I was high on Marcus Mariota coming out of Oregon. We all knew that. Anybody that's in the group that's followed us know that, Mariota, that was like one of the guys that I definitely wanted to see. Came out the same year as Jameis. Okay.
Yeah, I was a Winston guy. He was a Mariota guy. Facts.
Right. And I think, like I've said this to you before, and like Oregon's my cheat team. I like watching the Ducks just to see the kind of stuff that they pull off, But someone is going to have to sit Marcus Mariota down. I don't know whether it's a PowerPoint presentation or a pie chart or whatever it is that you're going to have to show him.
Pie chart.
A home video or what. But my man, if you want to play until you're 32 or 35, you're going to need to learn to adjust your game to either throwing the ball away or learning to get down when you go on the run. Or you're going to wind up being an RG3 story.
Maybe
it's terrible.
I mean, he's definitely nicked up a lot. That was my biggest thing. Him coming out, I was just like, I wasn't sure how well he'd be able to stay healthy. Yeah. With the size of his body and stuff, and that's definitely happened.
And he doesn't look like he's put on a ton, like some guys.
No, he hasn't filled out.
Years and all right, well, he's stacked on some weight now, so he can handle the contact. No,
right. And also too, as it pertains to the Titans, we might look back at the end of this year and be like, one of the biggest free agent signings was Deion Lewis for them.
Yeah.
Huge signing. He's paid huge dividends over the first 4 weeks for them. No doubt.
Definitely, translating over here.
So, definitely I'm And who are the Titans? I'm going to say they're a return to the playoffs, and they might be even more dangerous than they were last year. So
yeah, you like that? You like that? Who are we there? That was
yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good stuff, man.
Yeah, that's a
pretty
lot to
good
cover
stuff.
there. Let's go fourth down. See what we got coming up.
All right, well, let's get into this Thursday night game preview.
Yeah, I don't even know who plays.
We got Colts at Patriots.
Colts, Patriots.
Not quite the rivalry this once was. Mm-hmm. And the Patriots get back to 500 and get a, whatever you want to call the Colts, they're 1-3. I mean, they've, hey, whatever. Yeah. Could have won last week, didn't win.
Mm-hmm. Who's coming back this week?
Julian Edelman.
Edelman.
Yeah, the wide receiver for them, for his best bud, Mr. Tinder himself. In case you haven't seen some of the stories about Julian Edelman on Tinder, go ahead and look that up at your leisure.
I've seen some Twitter videos too, bro.
And
winding up in strange places and nice ladies in the evening.
Yeah, indeed. So should be interesting. Now Gronk did miss. Yeah, Josh Gordon showed up last week and played for them. They started throwing it back out to the whites of the world and stuff at the running back. Now Gronk did miss practice though Tuesday. Yeah. So that's something, what to keep an eye on and see what's going on there. They said he's kind of day to day. They don't, originally they thought he was going to miss a week or two, but it looks like he's not. So
Gronk? Yeah.
Right, Gronk, right.
Yeah, but Gronk knows his contract though. Those escalators say you got to play. You got to get a certain amount of snaps. Or you don't get no money.
I'll be interested to see, now that Edelman's back. And now you got Gordon and you got Hogan. Well, obviously we get to see exactly where Edelman is physically. Mm-hmm. I start seeing some of those numbers that Brady, you're used to seeing him put up, come back around, especially against this defense. Mm-hmm. Now, with that being said, though, the boy Luck finally coming back to his own. I know a lot of people was worried about him with the injury, a lot of underneath stuff, and not getting a lot of yards. And hey, he just put up over 400 yards. Almost 500, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. So, if he's found his stride a little bit, could be intriguing to see what he can do against the New England Patriots defense.
Right. Yeah. I look for New England, long as Gordon does what he does, and there's no issues in between now and Thursday night.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm going to cut you off.
Don't apologize. Go ahead.
I'm going to cut you off real quick. Mm-hmm. Luck's been in the league how many years now, man? It's just something just popped in my head that just is aggravating the hell out of me.
Something like 4 or 5.
4 or 5?
Yeah, at least 5.
And hasn't it? And since he's been in the league, I mean, if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. Hasn't it always been, well, we got to get a better offensive line and get him a running game? Right?
Yeah.
And here we are still. Now, he done missed, all of last year. A little bit before that, right?
It's his 6th year.
Okay, right. Okay, 6th year. That's always been the issue. And now you got a cat that just missed all last year, plus some the year before.
Yep.
We're going into week 5 of this year, and we still need offensive line and a damn running game. Now, you want to talk about a guy that has a legitimate beef with his organization?
Hey, as what I tell you, top down. And we ain't got to detail what the owner of that organization has been through in the last couple of years outside of the building.
Yeah.
Top down.
Pop to Molly, he's sweating.
Whoa! Hey, man. Hey, Irsay, that dude there.
He'll get loose.
I ain't got nothing to say about it, but other than, man, you need to lay off the partying and maybe get in the office and start doing some work.
For an organization to go from Peyton Manning to Andrew Luck, and they went and got, hey, Peyton Manning showed up. There was a Marshall Faulk there, and then when you decided to move up from Marshall Faulk, then it was Edgerrin James. And then when you moved on from Edgerrin James, it was Joseph Adai.
Joe Adai.
Okay. Yeah, you took care of the running back position pretty good, and you had the Jeff Saturdays of the world up front in front of Peyton and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and I get it. Andrew Luck, a little more of an athlete, a little quicker can run.
That generation's basically like Joe Thomas.
Right, and he can run, and move around, do some things. He's done got hurt, and y'all have yet still in his 6 years with your organization to find a solid running back and get the offensive line fixed.
And every coach is saying the same thing. That's like when you 3 coaches in. Yeah, and every coach is saying the same thing.
Yeah, we got to get him more help, but yeah, we don't do nothing to get him more help. Hey. I don't know. Not to go off a Colts rampage there. It's just like
no, but it should be addressed. It should be addressed.
It's aggravate, man. Yeah. Right? I mean, that guy there. His shoulder. Didn't even know he was going to come back, and he's back, and man, he's still out here slinging this pill, and y'all still ain't got him nobody back there yet. So. Yeah, man. Colts going to Patriots, man. Patriots going to just do what the Patriots do. I guess, the tales of them falling off the wagon, the Dolphins let them get up out of the grave, and they'll probably go ahead and take this one and get to 3-2.
Hey, I wonder when it'll happen if Andrew Luck's next contract negotiation, you guys decide you want to tag him and he wants to sit down. Wonder how that'd go over.
Inquiring minds want to know. Indeed. Indeed. But
what else you got, man? That's it. That's a wrap for you.
Yeah, man. I think that's going to pretty much. I think that's pretty much it. That Colts situation, though, boy, I tell you. And I mean, of course, we got to come up with a segment. I think just for the legend of Mahomes and what he does week to week until he falls off the cliff.
I love how. You know what I really want to know is I love how you're all on my boy's party train right now. Like, that was my guy. You're like, maybe he'll go the first round. Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. It's all right. What do you say? Nick's called it? Massiah called it, bro.
Yeah. I mean, you wanted him for sure.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Wanted him, but,
shout out to AD and them Kansas City Chiefs, man. God, y'all got y'all a heater over there.
One. But hey, it's early. I'm gonna tell, look, in the words of Bill Parcells, hey, let's go ahead and put the anointing oil away now.
That's right.
It's only 4 games in. Mm-hmm. We've seen that organization with that head coach and a different quarterback start out like gangbusters or world beaters.
10 games, and then all of a sudden, first round exit.
Now, while albeit this kid seems to have a little bit more juice in that arm, some things about him, but it's 4 games in. Let's see what happens when that weather turns cold. Because I guarantee you this, being from East Texas and him playing in Lubbock, he ain't never felt or played in that cold weather in Kansas City.
Yeah, that cold.
Not like that. Not like that bone chilling.
Yeah, that bone chiller.
Now he got to experience it on the sideline last year.
Right.
Yeah, but he ain't cut loose in it. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens with him. But, man, what you got up for the rest of the week? Nothing in particular?
Man, I know we got that Nixon 6 coming this week. There's some heat coming for that one, I'm pretty sure. I got some things on deck. Also, too, looks like I might go ahead and make that ride down to H-Town for the Cowboys versus Texans. Ooh. Yeah.
Got some talks going on, trying to see might to crash a couple of tailgates or watch parties.
What you doing, barbecue or tacos down there? Food trucks? What you doing when you hit that place?
Oh, man, you know what? I think
why don't you stick with the tacos, man? Stick with that grilled chicken. Don't ruin your diet, bro.
I think I'm about to roll with some of that barbecue when I get down there, man.
I ain't mad at you.
Yeah, I think I'm going to tell some of that barbecue.
Look, don't be posting about Fifth Squad when you hit that damn Houston.
Hey, man, I get a cheat meal, bro. I get a cheat meal. Meal. It's just not a cheat day. You feel me? It's just a cheat meal.
I ain't mad at you. Just, don't let me catch you posting no Fifth Squad this weekend while you out there sucking barbecue fingers off the saw.
Look, don't worry. I gotta get like 2 extra. I gotta get 2 extra workouts in this week before I get down there.
Yeah, do that. And then
that's too much food down there.
What you got? You got that. You got that. So you're gonna be traveling this week, okay?
Yeah.
Why don't you look to why don't you look to drop a video there in the group? Maybe a little 5 minutes.
Yeah, I might do a little something. See what I bump into.
Do a little halftime video. That would be cool. I think the people might appreciate that. And then and before that though, we'll have our Friday preview.
Yeah, we'll get the Friday up for sure. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah,
we'll get the Friday preview show up for sure. No doubts.
And I mean,
we're back and rolling now. Things are set and we can get everything going, baby.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of went long on this one, man. Like, I think it's like 2 hours or something like that. It's pretty close.
I know it. Well, we can get it out. Yeah, it's been a while, so we'll give them something to listen to. But don't worry, H-Town, I'm on your head this weekend.
Yeah, tell them.
Go Cowboys.
Hey, travel safe, bro. That's all I got to say
for
about
sure.
that.
We'll do, man.
Hey, man. We thank y'all for tuning in, man. Deep in the Huddle. We're out.